Coming to you live from our Auckland Park studios, this is Prime News on SABC 3. Here are the top stories making headlines.
It was first in my career to see a minister angry that police have done a good job.
National Police Commissioner General Fanima Semola says the objective behind the Police Minister Senzo Mchunu disbandment of the political killing task team became clear after the arrest of Vusimuzi Kat Matlala, an alleged cartel member who was nabbed by the team.
I've never doubted in the vision of Kenny Kunene, never. And members of the Patriotic Alliance has never doubted.
Patriotic Alliance Deputy President Kenny Kunene has been cleared by his party of any wrongdoing following an investigation into his alleged criminal connections.
And sadly, in all cases, the United Nations did not even try to help in any of them.
And US President Donald Trump made bold claims at the United Nations, declaring that he has ended 7 wars in 7 months since his second term began in January. Good evening and welcome to Prime News on 3. My name is Paulette Nell. Great to be in your company this evening. We get straight into it, starting with this. National Police Commissioner General Fanima Semola says the objective behind Police Minister Senzo Mchunu's disbandment of the PKTT, that's the political killing task team, became apparent after the arrest of Vusimuzi Kat Matlala, an alleged cartel member who was nabbed by the team. Masemola wrapped up his testimony at the Madanga Commission today in the ongoing probe into allegations of criminality, political interference and the corruption in the criminal justice system.
Top cop General Fanima Semola has painted Police Minister Senzo Mchunu as a figure who was allegedly eager to see the immediate disbandment of the political killings task team, to the extent that the continued success of the PKTT, following the decision to disband, made Mchunu visibly angry.
It was first in my career to see a minister angry that police have done a good job, because here police have arrested somebody that is linked to the killing of a councillor, and he was angry and that they took over this docket.
Masemola further testified that Mchunu allegedly gave the reason that political killings existed pre-1994 and the minister reduced the current killings in KZN merely to murders. This, however, runs contrary to the fact that President Cyril Ramaphosa established the PKTT in July 2018, well into the country's democracy, as a response to politically motivated murders in KZN. Masemola testified that as the process to disband the team was delayed in a tactical manner, it paved the way for the quote-unquote real objective behind Mchunu's decision to become clear to him.
As one was trying to manage this process, looking for the real reason that never came for why is the team disbanded. And eventually, after the arrest of Matlala on the 14th of May 2025, it became clear as to what was the objective for the disbandment.
Masemola moved on to now suspended Deputy National Commissioner for Crime Detection, Lieutenant General Shadrack Sibiya, a key figure implicated in these allegations that are at the center of the Madanga Commission's fact-finding mission. Masemola testified that from his appointment, Sibiya had a particular interest to control dockets and who should oversee the PKTT, to name a few. Masemola concluded his testimony by stating that if he knew then what he knows now, he would have outright refused the disbandment, adding that Matlala's million-rand contract with SABC has since been terminated, as per Mchunu's initiation. The Commission will continue with its hearings on Thursday, the 25th of September 2025. Kani Mapanga, SABC News, Pretoria.
In other related news, the former Richmond Municipal Manager Sibusiso Sithole's family have pleaded with the police to continue the investigations to uncover the mastermind behind his killing. This after murderer Sabelo Pewa had been sentenced to life imprisonment in the Durban High Court.
Sentencing Pewa, Judge Rithi Singh said he had shown no remorse and a blatant disregard for human life. Singh said both the deceased were valued members of the public and were deprived of their lives before their time. The court heard that Pewa resisted arrest by hiding behind his then infant child and tried to run away from police.
You are forever marked as being part of that group of people who believe that the laws that govern our society are not applicable to themselves. The benefits you have enjoyed as a free citizen of this country is about to be taken away from you.
Sithole's wife, Slindile, said the family was satisfied with the sentencing.
May he rot in jail because he's a danger to the society. And he has children. I wonder how will he help with the growth of his children if he is being released on parole.
Pewa was arrested in 2018 after the Political Killings Task Team took over the case. Police say investigations will continue to uncover the mastermind behind Sithole's murder.
The one who killed the person is sentenced, and it doesn't mean the end of the investigation.
In addition to the life sentences for the murders of both Sithole and Ngobo, Pewa also received 5 years imprisonment for the attempted murder of police officers during his arrest, as well as 15 years for possession of an unlicensed firearm and ammunition. I'm Nantlani Pamakwaza for SABC News in Durban.
Patriotic Alliance Deputy President Kenny Kunene can breathe a sigh of relief. This after his party cleared him of any wrongdoing following an investigation into his alleged criminal connections. Kunene was investigated after he was found at the Santon home of Katiso KT Molefe in July when police showed up to arrest the controversial businessman.
Back in the Patriotic Alliance's good books, Kunene will be allowed to participate in his party's activities again. This comes after the PA President Gayton McKenzie communicated that Kunene had been cleared by his party.
I have never doubted in the vision of Kenny Kunene, never. And members of the Patriotic Alliance has never doubted. So all political parties, we have given you now the benchmark. When your member gets accused of something, you know what to do, because we give you that strategy for free.
Kunene was investigated by his party after he was found at Molefe's home during a raid 2 months ago.
Kenny Kunene will be investigated.
He later resigned as a councillor and transport MMC in the city of Johannesburg, but maintained his innocence, saying it was a coincidence. The party says it had to act for the sake of transparency.
He had no business being there, ordinarily. We then said, because we are a transparent party, as we are the fastest growing political party in South Africa, we need to do things differently.
Now that he has been cleared, his party wants Kunene back in the office by next week. Ntantla Khatlhane, SABC News, Johannesburg.
The matter of the estate of the late former Deputy President David Mabuza has been reserved in the Mpumalanga Division of the High Court. Mabuza's daughter, 24-year-old Tamara Silinda, filed an urgent application to interdict an investment company from paying out funds to Mabuza's widow, that's Nonhlanhla Mnisi, pending the finalization of, among others, review and setting aside of the allocation of 100% of a death benefit to Mnisi.
A legal battle over Mabuza's 44 million rand retirement income fund. Battle lines have been drawn. Mabuza's daughter wants the Retirement Income Solution Company to be restrained from paying out any funds to Mabuza's widow, Nonhlanhla Mnisi. Tamara Silinda also wants the court to direct Mnisi to pay her an interim maintenance pending the finalization of the matter.
The dependents have got to be considered. In other words, there must be an investigation by the fund. There must be an investigation by the fund to look at who are the dependents and at the end of the day consider those dependents.
The court has ordered the retirement income company to provide more documents before a decision is made.
I've closely considered all the documents that was presented to me, especially a policy schedule which constitutes the contract between the late Mr. Mabuza and Alexander Forbes. And I've also looked at a policy schedule that formed part of the papers before me. Unfortunately, there is a discrepancy between what the schedule says and the policy document.
The matter has been postponed to Tuesday next week. Nhlamulo Mabasa, SABC News, Mbombela.
Welcome back. Let's continue with news further afield. U.S. President Donald Trump made bold claims at the United Nations General Assembly in New York, declaring that he had ended 7 wars in 7 months since his second term began in January. Trump criticized the UN for failing to formally acknowledge his administration's efforts.
I ended 7 wars, and in all cases they were raging with countless thousands of people being killed. This includes Cambodia and Thailand, Kosovo and Serbia, the Congo and Rwanda, a vicious, violent war that was, Pakistan and India, Israel and Iran, Egypt and Ethiopia, and Armenia and Azerbaijan. It included all of them. No president or prime minister, and for that matter, no other country has ever done anything close to that. And I did it in just 7 months. It's never happened before. There's never been anything like that. I'm very honored to have done it. It's too bad that I had to do these things instead of the United Nations doing them. And sadly, in all cases, the United Nations did not even try to help in any of them.
Meanwhile, the president of the United Nations General Assembly, Annalena Baerbock, says this is not the time for celebration. Baerbock emphasized that the UN cannot commend itself until women and children in conflict zones, including the Democratic Republic of Congo, Sudan, Haiti, Gaza, and Ukraine, feel safe and protected in their homes.
This anniversary of the United Nations should have been a moment of celebration. But this is not an ordinary year. Just look at the state of our world, as the Secretary General described. Thousands of orphans in Gaza are wandering around the rubble, eating sand, drinking contaminated water. 90-year-old women in Ukraine are hiding from drones, trapped in their homes instead of living their final years in peace. Children in Haiti, too afraid to walk to school, afraid they might be gunned down by gangs like their friends. And for every conflict and tragedy that seizes the headlines, there are so many more that are forgotten.
Thank you for staying with us. We shift focus to this now. Experts for the Competition Commission and Airlink have disagreed on some aspects relating to the calculation of the cost a new competitor would face when entering the market. The Competition Tribunal is hearing evidence over the allegation of excessive and predatory pricing by the regional airline in Pretoria.
Economic expert for local airline Airlink has explained a key part of how competition is assessed. Anthony Fellett told the tribunal that their approach focuses on what it would actually cost a new airline to enter the market rather than just looking at the incumbent airline's expenses.
That's essentially what I've sought to do in my capital cost calculations, where I seek rather to take the historical cost of each of the fixed assets. I'd rather start with the current value of those assets, but not at the not new for old. I don't assume new for old, but rather the condition as purchased. And that's, I think, an important distinction.
Phillip argued that any new airline would have to absorb upfront losses when establishing a route, and those losses must be included in the economic cost calculation. He warned that ignoring them creates an unrealistic picture of how competitive the market really is.
And I think what Mr. Oprosky, I'm trying to understand his rationale of why he dismisses that value. His thought experiment with regards to the long-run competitive equilibrium is to assume zero barrier entries. Okay, so he says that this is an entry barrier in a perfectly competitive market. Airlines would not incur this upfront expenditure. I think that's the point he's trying to make. And I don't believe that's a legitimate way of looking at what a notional competitive price would be.
The hearings will pause on Wednesday and resume on Thursday. Nosipho Khatebe, SABC News, Johannesburg.
Now time to shift our focus to the weather desk to see what the temperatures has in store for us. John Sturley has the latest update for you.
Good evening to you. Let's take a look at all your weather details. Partly cloudy skies are expected in the Western Cape overnight. That's behind a cold front. Southerly winds up to about 35 kilometers an hour. Be on the lookout for scattered rainfall in parts of KwaZulu-Natal becoming isolated as you head in towards the Free State and Northwest provinces. Partly cloudy skies expected in the northeast of South Africa. Ahead towards Heritage Day, widespread showers and disruptive rainfall possible through KwaZulu-Natal. Be on the lookout for that, whilst there's scattered showers in the forecast for Gauteng, becoming isolated as you head towards the Northwest province. The southern parts of the country also expecting mostly partly cloudy conditions. Isolated showers expected tomorrow. That's through the Eastern Cape, whilst there's a clearing trend in the west, with Cape Town expecting to be sunnier through the afternoon than in the morning, with wind speeds up to 40 kilometers an hour from a south to southeasterly direction. Be on the lookout this evening for the potential severe thunderstorms in parts of KwaZulu-Natal, and head towards tomorrow. Severe thunderstorms shifting northwards now in towards the Free State, and a watch in place for the potential of disruptive rainfall in Durban. That's on Wednesday. Dropping to 14 degrees tonight in Durban, Gqeberha down to 13, Cape Town 11, Graafrenet down to 5, Bloemfontein 10, and Mahikeng down to about 17 overnight, Pretoria 14, warming up to a maximum tomorrow in the mid-20s at 29 degrees. That's on Wednesday afternoon. Johannesburg up to 28, Cape Town 18, Gqeberha and East London both up to 17 tomorrow, whilst Durban warms up to a maximum of 20. That's it from me. Have a great evening.
That concludes our time together this evening. Much gratitude for joining us. Let's do it again next time. For now, it's good night. God bless. Hula.